Good morning. Patrick, I have been an admirer of yours for a long time. And the closest I came to Patrick was last year at the awards ceremony for Ghana's Most Influential. And after we had the honors, we had to be on the stage to do a group photograph. And I stretched my hand to him, and Patrick walked past. Yes, you did. And I said, damn, I'm going to meet this guy again. Today, here you are. You're seated next to me, and I'm going to shake you 10 times before I leave here. But more importantly, I've been here some time ago, I guess it was in 2012. And I'm here again. And Patrick, I'd like to say that what you have done with Ashesi, how far it has come, and what Ashesi stands for is truly worth preserving. And God bless you. Amen. Class of 17, here you are. I am convinced that by now you have already been equipped with all you need to know to face the next stage of your journey. I like to be called Mike. And I used to be a star until about a year ago. You will soon figure it out. And hey, I don't have a university degree. I don't. And this morning when I came, Ebenezer, the guy who was taking care of me, wanted me to be here in my bow tie. And I insisted on my rights. I said, I need the gown. You don't come to a university and live like that. So I insisted, because this is the closest I can come to a graduation ceremony. Yeah, I am. Okay. About 21 years ago, I gained admission into the UPSA, then it was called IPS, to read accountancy. Within 2 months of my admission, I decided to switch courses, as I didn't see myself capable of sailing through the course originally offered me. That decision cost me my status as a regular student, but it turned out useful in the end. And while I do not regret it, I still look forward to earning a degree someday so I can wear their copy for the records. A lot of you know me for BEIGE, but prior to BEIGE and for about 10 years, I had been involved in several kinds of entrepreneurial ventures, most of which were minor in size or had failed. So when I started BEIGE in 2008, I had already gathered in my resume a chunk of experiences that could guide me survive. Yet the nature of business at BEIGE required my dealing with staff, and that came with challenges of an entirely different nature for which I hadn't gained any experience. The most daunting of them was people. Yes, people. And as I engaged with my superior colleagues for advice, it turned out that they also had same issues. It was thus okay for us to call it a national challenge. The people challenge permeates our culture so badly that it's gradually eroding the quality of our human resource. And at one point in the forum, I expressed my desperation by saying, jobs day, but boys no day. By this I meant there exist opportunities around us, but there aren't enough persons available to take advantage of these opportunities. If over 40% of Ghana's population is youth, and about 300,000 of them are turning out annually from universities, then Ghana has not at all run out of manpower. Rather, what corporate Ghana faces is a disturbing lack of talents who can demonstrate proficiency, tenacity, and integrity all at a go. With proficiency, I mean sound technical skill. With tenacity, I'm referring to drive and the willingness to endure. You can call it endeavor. And with integrity, you know what I mean. Employers have found ways of coping with the first two challenges through a mix of talent development, staff motivation, and performance measurement initiatives. But the last one is the killer. We just have not found a solution to the integrity challenge. Here's my own analysis of the integrity case. Out of every 10 persons you hire, 2 will deliberately steal from you. 5 do not mind stealing when you lose your guard. And 9 would not tell when they notice or hear about anyone stealing from you. So when you hire 5,000, you can imagine. So really, whether you actually do or you benefit from the act willfully or accidentally, or you even saw but did not whistle, all die. Be that. So you can imagine how pleased I felt when I heard about Ashesi's honor code. On behalf of all of you, I offer gratitude to your parents and guardians, as well as Ashesi itself, for those of you on scholarships. Because by choosing to put you here today, you've all been placed in a position of unique advantage amongst your peers due to the uniqueness of the grooming Ashesi has given you. And if you're in doubt, listen to the story of Miss Anne-Marie Blackmore, a member of class of 2012. Anne joined BEIGE in 2012. Initially, it took me a while to figure her out, as she was always finding herself in trouble with her superiors. So I chose to literally adopt her as my protege, and in so doing, offered her the opportunity to work for our foundation. And boom, Anne explodes like a time bomb. With overflowing drive and unconditional dedication, Anne today not only initiates, but is pursuing the boundaries of the work of the BEIGE Foundation, thanks to the quality of her foundations, Ashesi. Enough said about that. Come with me to the real world. The world out there is a jungle. It could be fun if you have all your cards right, but for most of us, it remains a tough place, and I cannot guarantee you any less. You're going to be faced with daily encounters that will test the very foundations of the grooming Ashesi has given you. Yes, your honor code will be put to test. Within the confines of this compound, bonded by the friendship of your colleagues and under the watchful eyes of Professor Isi Ansa, you and your colleagues had no choice than to conform to the honor code. But in the real world, most of you would be alone and also prey to the widely practiced norms of our society, most of which shamelessly violate your honor code with audacity. I promise you, your faith and resilience will be tested to the very core, and I wish you well. That you have come from Ashesi is no guarantee that you would make it. Not every alumnus of this school has been successful thereafter. In fact, some have very badly failed, and the same could befall you if you take things for granted. You should know that Dr. Uwa's reputation as one of the most outstanding Ghanaian entrepreneurs did not just happen overnight. And he, like many in his league, once was an apprentice, devoted his time to his goals, endeavored, failed on many counts, yet persevered. There are no shortcuts in this life. And if you desire true success, then be prepared to earn your keep. I've also come to realize that life is like the game of football. Your life would pass you by as does the 90 minutes over which the game of football is played. As the game of football is played over 90 minutes, so is life played or lived over an accepted span of 70 years. Unlike in football, where your opponent can be seen, in life, your opponent is life itself. If halftime in football is in the 45th minute, then for life, it should be at the 35th year. Statistics has it that in football, most goals are scored between the 40th and the 45th minutes. And generally, more goals are scored in the second half than the first. This is obvious because coaches would have understood the pattern of play of the opponents and at recess figured out how to contain them. Remember, the chances are 50-50 for either team. And I believe the same holds for us in the second half of the game of life. So my dear graduates, if the chances are going to be 50-50 for either team in the second half, would it not be better to take the lead before halftime? Because then at least you have an edge. So all you need to do is consolidate or protect your lead when you get into the second half. This is because in the second half, life has also studied your pattern, and life is going to pay you back for how you used the first half. And if you disagree with me, listen carefully to this. In the second half of any football game, most players already have built up exhaustion and have become prone to injury. Any major tackle and you could be hurt beyond recovery. Hence, you may have to be substituted. Talk about frequent joint aches, life-threatening health conditions, low energy levels, hypertension, and all. They don't usually hit you in your first half. They hit you in your second. That's if you've not achieved anything for your life prior to that, then it's game over for you. Life is definitely going to pay you back for the choices you made in your first half. There's karma, man. Karma for all the weed. Karma for all the deuce. Karma for all the chicks, the chill, and all that vice. And there's also karma for the midnight toil. It's garbage in, garbage out. Yours truly is in his second half, and Charlie, the slightest knock I receive takes so long to heal. I do love bones, don't pay. But not long ago, an encounter with a very tempting one cost me a visit to Dr. Glover, my dentist. And he politely said, "Mr. Nyinaku, you need to go slow on them bones. Times are not like before." And that's yellow card for me. My dear friends, it won't get any better as the game wears on. Oh yes, I believe in miracles. And it's possible for you to make it even if it's late in the second half and all. That's true. But probabilities are that it may not happen. But wait, our own president, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, was president at 72. And come to think of it, that must be injury time, right? Whoa! That's like scoring a penalty in injury time. I suggest we all take a deep breath, look within ourselves, and determine where we are in this game of life. Are we in our first, second half, or it's injury time? And are we in control of the game? And more importantly, what's the score? Are we in the lead? Is it a draw, or we're trailing? Folks, life is going to pass you by like that. And if you don't make use of your time, you would miss it. If you check out the history of most of the people I believe you admire, you would find out that at halftime, they either had been prepared or had even started doing their things. I guess we can say the same for Dr. Uwa. A cursory glance at all of you tells me you're likely to be in your first half, or should I say looks are deceptive. In any case, this is the time for you to be hungry for skill. With energy on your side, I'd urge you to take control of the game now so you can have an edge over life by halftime. Like I said in the beginning, I used to be a star during my first half, and I was hailed all over as a new kid on the block. Now they don't do that anymore to me. They don't care about me anymore because I'm expected to be in charge anyway. So why the fuss? It's only in Africa that 40 is still classified as youth. But Charlie, they lie. We grow. And in this new world, you're only considered phenomenal when you excel in your strides well under 40. Most of us here have been where you are before, yet we all sincerely wish to have had another chance to do it better. So hear me out and don't waste your youth. And dream wild, because dreams can come true. And dreams are not only a preserve for the rich or the poor, nor are dreams a preserve for people of a particular color, race, or background. If there's any people that should be dreaming now in today's world, it better be Africans. And while you do, may I or Dr. Ewa not be your standard, but rather may you dream dreams and possibilities that would confound me and him. Congratulations once again, class of 17. You have earned the right to have your names etched on the walls of Ashesi. You were here some. On behalf of all your loved ones, I say cheers to your entry into the world. And I do hope that in your time, it will be cool to say Jobs Day and Ashesi Boys too Day. So go out there and do what you've got to do. Thank you, and God bless you.